I want to bring in former Republican Congressman from Texas, Will Hurd. His former district stretched from San Antonio to El Paso along the U.S.-Mexican border. Congressman, both President Biden and Alejandro Mayorkas sent the same message. Don't come now. We need more time. What's your reaction?
Well, that's still somewhat ambiguous. What they should be saying is that we will not tolerate illegal immigration. What I wish they would say, I wish the president would say, I'm going to announce a special representative to the Northern Triangle to finally address some of the root causes that is causing some of the push factors for people to come here. And we know what those causes are. They've been the same causes, for the last decade or so. That's poverty, violence, and a lack of economic opportunity. If we had a special representative for the Northern Triangle, they can start working on a Marshall Plan for that region. That special representative should also be working with our intelligence services to make sure that we're dismantling these cartel human smugglers who are profiting on these individuals. They're making a lot of money. This is big business. And the intelligence community needs to make this a national intelligence priority to address this problem. And then here in the U.S., we need to reform our asylum laws that were written in the 80s. We need to make sure that local communities on the ground that are dealing with this crisis have the resources that they need to deal with this. These are small communities that have been dealing with the global pandemic for a year. We're still recovering from the storm that hit Texas, where we saw loss of power and water for several days. We're still dealing with that issue. And then we also got to remember, when we have children in our custody, we should treat them like our children, right? And we don't have the resources for the volume that are coming over. This is a complex problem, but the problems haven't changed in these last couple of years, and multiple administrations, multiple Congresses hasn't addressed this. Oh, and by the way, let's fix and streamline legal immigration so that if people are going to come and be productive members of our society, that they can do it in a legal way. And that starts by applying back home.
Congressman, I think you may have just explained why former is in front of the word congressman. I'm guessing you don't agree with this. 40 Republican senators just sent a letter to the Government Accountability Office saying that Biden's suspension of Trump's border wall funding and its construction was unlawful. They say Biden doing this is what fueled the crisis. I'm guessing you say absolutely not.
Well, that letter would have been nice when President Trump tried to take money away from our military bases and VA facilities and put it in a different place that wasn't appropriated by Congress. So, part of the reason there's a frustration by the public towards Washington and to our elected officials, it's the video and the audio doesn't always match. What people say and what people do are two very different things. Border security is important. We should be using technology. We should be increasing the pay of Border Patrol. We see now what Border Patrol has to do. They're having to take care of kids. They're having to also chase bad people. There's folks most recently that were on the terrorist watch list, trying to come into our border. They need technology. We need to have a smart wall to make sure we know everything that's coming back and forth across our border. Unfortunately, this is an issue that both sides of the aisle tries to use as a political bludgeon rather than actually trying to fix the issue. Democrats this week are going to try to push through immigration legislation where there's plenty of Republicans that are willing to work on this issue, but they want to continue to use this as a political bludgeon. So it's unfortunate we're not focused on trying to solve the problem because this is a real humanitarian crisis.
And it requires a lot of long-term solutions, many that you just laid out. But given all the hurdles for those long-term solutions right now, to get this short-term crisis under control, what do you think the best strategy is?
The best strategy is, I hope President Biden, I was hoping when he was talking with George Stephanopoulos, he would have said, we're going to announce someone who's going to work and be there on the ground. We also need to make sure that in El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras, these things called welcome centers, these were locations that all the resources of those local governments were, that we get those, we stand those back up, because this is a way that we're going to be able to expatriate folks back to their home country Those were incredibly efficient. I toured them back in, I believe it was 2017. This is one way to make sure that families get reunited with their families back home where they're from, and they have a better chance of connecting unaccompanied children with family members than what we do here in the United States. So I think that's something that immediately needs to happen.
Congressman, you just made a lot of sense. You better check your phone. They may be calling you to do that job.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.